I'm going to start with a pot of smoked meat and water. You can use broth if you would like. I'm just going to go off of the flavor of the smoked meat. Use whatever smoked meat you would like. In this case, I'm using smoked chicken wings because that's what I have on hand. If you have ham, you can use ham hocks, smoked ham, or a salted ham, salted pork, jowls. Any kind of salted meat will do, or smoked meat will do. And I'm just going to cook these until they become soft. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to take my smoked meat out. Because with this, I usually take the skin off. But you don't have to. You can actually keep your smoked meat in, bones and all. I'm going to taste it because I use a smoked meat. Sometimes they over salted, sometimes they under salted. Oh yeah, that's good. So to this broth here, I'm going to add a small onion, diced small, not minced though. So I'm just stirring the onions in. At this point, I don't need to add any salt, any other seasonings. I'm going to add in my potatoes now. Now it looks like I reduced so I'm adding in my potatoes now. These are 4 medium potatoes. I cut them a little on the chunky side, but you can definitely go smaller. And as you can see, the potatoes are covered. If you needed to at this point to add a little bit more broth or water, you could. And here's your green beans, fresh green beans. And I'm probably going to cook the potatoes, let's see, at around, I don't want them to get too soft. Let's say maybe 5 to 8 minutes. Because remember, I'm going to put the green beans in. Now, if you'd like your green beans a little on the soft side, then go ahead and throw it all together. I do not like mushy green beans. I mean, I'll eat them. I mean, the flavor is good. But it is really not something that I like. I'm a texture person. Something can taste so great, but if that texture is too much for my tongue, then it's like, oh no. Alrighty, here we have potatoes. I don't want to cook these to finish. These are still hard, so maybe about 5 to 8 minutes. Then I'll add my green beans. So if you ever had to snap beans, I didn't really snap these. They were I cut them, I mean, I broke them in half, but they were already trimmed. That's 2 pounds roughly. And if you want to, you can add it all in together. But I'm going to cook my potatoes a little, make them just a little soft because I cut mine pretty large. I'm going to add my green beans now to the pot. Now, because my broth is well seasoned, I may have to add some water to this. I don't want it fully covered. Hopefully you guys can see, but I'm just adding the meat that I took off the bone. You don't have to take it all. If you don't have any smoked meat, you can add, fry up a few pieces of bacon. And you know what I'm going to do, right? Add a little pepper. And this meal here is good enough for one pot meal, but I'm actually going to be making this with, well, eating this with chicken and dumplings. You guys will see that video. And I am going to cover and let it go. If you do use canned green beans, my advice is to rinse them off very well. And once everything is cooked, add them to the pot, cover it, and just let it sit until it soaks up all that, the flavors of the broth. And as you can see, they're beautiful, bright and green. Hearty enough for one meal. You have your potatoes, you have your green beans, and you have your meat. And you want to talk about a next day meal that tastes so good, especially what the longer it sits in that broth, the better it tastes. So it is a great leftover meal.